morning all. 24 hours later, here is a class for you to do this week. Going to be a energizing class. I hope to do the heart kind of class, but I'd rather do that when I've actually got you face to face, as it were, online. So this will just be waking up, stretching out into the body, saying good morning to the body, really kind of class. If you come into a comfortable seat, and once there, bringing hands down to the lap. Now, first of all, feel the contact through your sit bones with the earth beneath you. And breathing out a few times down into that contact. Deepening your roots. And then from that base, if you start to now draw up through your spine, now take your time to do this, there's no rush. Feel your way up through the spine and up into the skull. And now feeling your breath flowing between those 2 points, the base of spine and the skull. Give yourself a few moments to follow the rise and the fall of your breath. And allowing your eyes to shut. If you like to set an intention, this is your space to do so now. Bringing something that you would like to affirm into your day. And planting this inside you to take forward. And then eyes opening again. We'll rub the palms of the hands together really vigorously so you get a bit of heat between them. Then you're going to place the palms over the eyes. And you're resting the skull in the palms of the hands. And just bringing the palms, sweeping them over the skull, across the hairline, down over the face, and then just rubbing down the arms, front of the body, a few moments down in the belly. We'll bring the hands round to the back of the spine, rubbing either side of the spine, warming up the kidneys, and continue down the legs. And down to the feet. And once done there, just shake out into the fingertips. And hands coming back to the skull, to the knees. Now shrug out your shoulders a couple of times. And as you do so, you can really squeeze into the back of the spine as the shoulder blades roll together. So you get that lovely sense of heart opening. Stretching out into the chest. You can take those circles the opposite way. Make sure you're breathing fully as you do this, so energize your body with the breath. And on this rather cold morning, it looks a little bit wet out there as well. Nice warming breath. So you're lifting your energy. Lovely. Now right hand's going to come down to the side of the body and left arm's going to stretch up Now reach skyward, palm facing downwards, and you'll reach over towards the right side of the body. As you do this, see if you can anchor your left hip. So this hip down here, draw it back. Take one more breath together. And taking your left hand down, right arm will lift up, palm coming over. Make sure there's enough space there for that left shoulder to relax. Right hip, drawing back. And we take one more breath together. And finding your way from there onto all fours. Now we'll start with a neutral spine here. With your out breath, draw the pelvis back towards the heels. Just as far as you can reach back with the hands out in front of you. Now leading with your heart, we'll draw the spine forward between the shoulders. You're stretching out into the fronts of the legs, into the spine. Lifting up into your heart though. Another out breath, you'll find your way back. Come forwards with your in breath. Back into the out. Give ourselves 2 more rounds or so doing this. Right back onto all fours now. We're going to lift up the right knee. We're drawing it up into the core to build a little bit of heat. If you look down towards that right knee, say hello to it. See if you can keep breathing fully into the belly. And out breath, take the right knee out behind you. Flex the foot now as if you're pushing the ceiling up with that right foot. And look up. Keep your hips as level as you can here. We'll take another in breath, drawing that right knee back in. And then stretching it back out. Imagine you've got a dinner plate on the back of the spine. But to make sure that's level, lift up through the belly. And right knee coming down. A little bit of sway through the pelvis, just ease out, see where your body's at this morning. And then on to the other side with the left knee. So left knee's drawing up to the core, a few breaths there. Left foot up to the ceiling, push up the ceiling with the left foot. Level pelvis. And next in breath, it comes back in again, the left knee. Now a few breaths, stretching it out behind you. Remember that dinner plate doesn't want to tip off the spine. and left knee coming back down. Tuck under your toes now. Using your hands, walk back in towards the heels. You can keep the hands on the floor here to take a bit of the body's weight. Otherwise, you may want to slide the hands up to the knees. And if you've got the hands up to the knees, taking them out to the sides, stretch out through the fingertips. In breath, squeeze your shoulder blades together as you bring the hands in, bending elbows. Really squeeze into your shoulder blades, that middle point between the spine. Out breath, stretching the arms out. Follow your breath here. In breath, out breath. The next in breath, lift the palms up. And out breath, reaching forward, down to the mat. Plant the hands down. Taking your feet a little distance apart, we'll lift up into down dog. Bend the knees here. And you've got a few breaths, just to pedal your feet from side to side. Open up into the body. And our next in breath, we'll lift up the heels, so stretch up into the heels here. And take your belly, the front of the body, down towards the front of the thighs. You're squeezing yourself together. Concertinaing the body. In breath, looking forward. And out breath, the feet will come up to the hands. And you're into a forward fold. Now let your spine relax here. Go nice and floppy, a bit like a rag doll. Just sway a little bit if you'd like to. Then anchor your hands down. Lift up the toes. Stretch out into the toes. Then planting them down, lifting up the heels. Flexion off the floor. Plant your heels down. Do the same again, toes lifting. Heels lifting. Anchoring both feet down now. Feel all 4 points in contact with the mat. And start to draw up from the feet, through the legs, the pelvis, up through the spine, the arms following up. Out breath into the heart. In breath, arms coming to the sides of the body. Breathing in, we'll lift them up above the skull. Out breath, they're floating back down. Another in breath. And out. 2 more rounds, rising arms, lifting energy. Out breath. Rooting yourself down into the feet. Moving in and out of forward fold now. In breath, the arms will float up. Out breath, take yourself into forward fold. Scoop the earth with the hands. In breath, we lift all the way back up. Out breath, folding back down. can go as quickly, as slowly as you want here. You can use gravity here to just let the spine float down. Look at that lovely rebound up through the spine. As you really let go of it on the way down. Couple more. On your next out breath, you're riding down and into forward fold. Both hands walking round to the right, taking yourself into a twist. And swing the hands round to the left. Both hands to the center line. In breath, offer your spine forward, draw up through the belly here. Breathe out. Another in breath. And hands coming down. We step back into down dog. So finding your way here, taking the spine forward between the hands, you'll arrive into a plank. You can put the knees down here if you prefer that version. Breathe in. And out breath, bending your knees to draw the spine back into your down dog. So go forwards and back here. Lead with the heart. Breathe in to your plank. Look forward or knees down. With a bend of the knees, draw up and back, breathe out. A few more. We're coming to the final one. Now slowing it down to take the knees down now to the mat. And out breath, hinging back towards your heels. Keep the gaze forward and we'll come up onto the fingertips here, arms out in front of you. Planting your hands down, start to hinge forward onto the belly, sliding through, hands underneath the shoulders, breathing in a little baby cobra. Breathing out, easing back down. A couple more times. Right hand coming out in front of you now. Keep the left hand where it is. Breathing in, we'll just lift up a little bit, lifting the chest up off the floor. Bend the left knee. Taking the left foot down and the chest coming down. Switching sides, left arm comes forward, right hand's underneath the shoulders now. Starting lifting the chest, so press down into the left hand. And the last couple of breaths will bend the right knee. And everything coming back down. Take your hands into a little pillow, a couple of resting breaths, feeling your belly in contact with the floor, breathing deeply down into the belly. Hands underneath the shoulders, breathe in, another little cobra. And toes tucking under. You're arriving up and back into down dog. Look out past your knees here in your down dog. And in breath, right leg will lift up. Now bend your right knee and start to open into the right hip. Right knee will then come forward between the hands. Keep the foot lifted, hover. And we'll plant the right foot between the hands. Stretching back into the left foot, left heel, drop down the left knee. In breath. To keep the toes tucked under on the back foot here, arms will float up, the gaze will come up. Keep the spine lifting. And out breath, fingers coming down. So lift up your back leg now, a strong back leg. You're balanced on the ball of the back foot. If you prefer, you can flip the back foot down. Now draw back, bend the back knee a little bit, draw back the weight, start to lift up, straighten out through the back leg. In breath, arms float up. Next in breath, lift up through the spine. And out breath, the hands coming forward. Touch them lightly to the earth. And if your back foot's not flipped, now the time is to do that. Bend the front knee. In breath, arms will float up into warrior two. Now we'll take the arms behind the spine here, interlacing the fingers and squeezing your shoulders back. Next in breath, keeping that squeeze through the shoulders, open out through the arms. Next in breath, and we'll float the arms around, and you're arriving back into down dog. Left leg floating up, bending the left knee, Lift it even higher, then opening up into the left hip. Left knee hovers up between the hands. Keep the foot lifted. And we're planting the left foot through. Now stretch back into that right leg, really press back into the right heel, then starting to drop the knee down, toes tucked under, lifting up. Few breaths here, draw up through the spine. And out breath, fingertips coming down. Now once you've got the fingertips down, then lift up that back knee. Remember, you can flip the back foot here. Now bend that back knee to give you a bit of leverage to start to lift up into the high lunge. Straighten out through the back leg. In breath, arms floating up. Keep stabilizing your balance through the back foot. Out breath, take the hands down. Whoa, there I'm going down a bit fast. Lift that back foot, plant it down. In breath, lifting up. Warrior two. We'll take the hands behind the spine again, interlace them the opposite way. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze into the shoulder blades. And the arms float out. Keep them drawing back though, open up the chest. In breath, arms will windmill down. And we'll step back into down dog. Few resting breaths in down dog. Take your gaze out past the knees here. You may want to put a bit of movement into this. See how the body's feeling now. Deep in breath, the right leg will float up. Now take the right foot between the hands. And flipping the back foot down, we'll lift up the arms, straightening up through the back front leg. Breathe in, reach forward through that right front hand. Palm will turn up. We're then taking the front hand down towards the floor. We're not actually touching the floor. We want to really work the core here. So keep hands off the floor. Just rest the hand on the leg, on the shin. In breath, left arm will lift up. Whoa, keep your balance with the back foot. And kind of feel how much you have to work the core here to stabilize the body. Right arm will float forward again. Left arm coming over to join it so that both arms are parallel. Keep that back leg as strong as you can. Lovely. Another in breath. And we'll sweep the arms round, lifting up into standing. Rotate your front right foot, so it's parallel. Left foot rotating out to the side. Left palm turns up. Reach out with the left palm. Left palm comes down, just to the inner edge of that front leg. Right arm floats up. Strong back heel. Left arm will float up, reach forward with the palm. Looks like you're offering something forward. Right arm comes over. Sweep both arms down. Arriving up into standing. We take the left foot in now, so both feet are parallel with one another. Breathe in, lift through the spine. Turn the palms up. Breathe in, palms float up. Breathing out, folding forward. Hands arrive on the mat. Breathe in, lengthen through the spine. Breathing out, folding down. Walk the hands back in towards the feet here. Another in-breath, taking the hands forward. And we turn the heels in, toes out, in-breath, lifting up into standing. And just roll your shoulders out here a couple of times. Doing very, very well. It's all quite heat building this morning. Hands sliding down the knees. Now keep a nice steady stance here. Tuck under a little bit with your sit bone. Out breath, take the body, torso round to the right hand side. Breathe in, look out behind you. Breathing out, you'll take the torso, big semicircle around the left knee. Breathing in, looking out behind the left shoulder. Out breath, to the right. In breath, behind. And so on. And in breath, coming to your center line. If you walk your hands around to one foot, and we'll step back into down dog. Now, last time in down dog here, bending knees. Just breathing into your body, into its edges. Moving in your down dog to your edges. And we'll take a long, soft out breath through the mouth. In breath, take your time, Chest coming forward to drop down onto the knees. Out breath. Into cat. Spine curving up. In breath, leading with your heart. Between the shoulders. We move in and out with our breath. And we're going to thread now the left arm underneath the right, coming down to the left temple. Coming up onto the left right fingertips, if you like. Right palm down, left palm follows. Coming onto the other side now. Up onto the left fingertips. And arriving back to your fours. Start to take your chest down between the hands and you're riding onto your belly. Up onto the forearms. Make sure your elbows here, they're underneath the shoulders. There's a bit of space for the spine to lift in. Lifting up into the heart, arriving Sphinx. See if you can grow space between the shoulders and ears. Your last few breaths, you take your fingers wide. You may want to come into seals. So fingers wide, you're straightening out through the arms. And out breath, we're lower down to the floor. So a few resting breaths again, riding on the belly. Connecting your mind back to the body. So come back to the sensation of belly on the earth. We'll then take the right arm out to the side of the body. Then you'll turn the palm up of the right hand. Left hand as a little lever. Slowly roll onto the right side of the body. Give yourself a moment to acclimatise there. You may just want to stay here. The legs can go wherever you feel comfortable. You can bend that left knee, plant it behind the right foot, the right leg. And the last few breaths, the left arm can float up. Soft fingertips. And we're starting to float. Left arm out behind you. Now squeeze again into the shoulder blades. Kind of feel as you squeeze into shoulder blades, that opens up the front of the body. All good prep for our class next week, opening into the heart. Yourself be comfortable wherever you arrive. And we'll find our way back onto the front of the body. So take time to roll off that right shoulder, back onto the belly. Left arm out to the side of the body. Take the palm up to the ceiling. Use your right hand as the lever. So you slowly roll over onto the left shoulder. Now, adjust your feet how you want to. And right arm lifting up and taking it out behind you. And we take the right arm back down. You're rolling over slowly onto the belly. And from here, go to roll over and onto the spine. Now making yourself comfortable there, we'll take the hands behind the knee, behind the thighs. And you're going to just rock forwards and back on the spine. Over a few rounds, make this a bit more vigorous. So you're rocking up and down, really massaging out the spine here. And you may like to take the feet, sorry, my hair's got in the way. Take the feet over the head. You can use your hands then as a support. And arriving into a plough. The hands can remain on the spine, else you can stretch them out, again squeezing into the shoulder blades. A little bit of bend through the knees, maybe you have the feet lifted. Giving yourself time to really open up into the shape. Hands to the spine. Starting to roll the spine back down again. Hands will arrive on the knees. Out breath, draw the knees in. In breath, ease them away from you. Now localizing the movement here into the abdomen. So breathe deeply into the abdominal cavity. It's like you're letting all your abdominal organs settle into their space. And we take the feet down to the mat, knees up to the ceiling. Coming into butterfly now. Take the soles of the feet together. Hands are resting in on the belly here. And we're using yoni mudra. So you've got your thumbs together. Then you've got the fingers connecting. So you're making a little triangle shape, resting that on the belly. Letting the breath quieten now. Finding its way into its own natural rhythm. From here, we'll take the knees back to the center line. Taking the arms out to the sides of the body or else into a C shape. We're going to come into a twist now. You can either keep the knees together, you can cross one over the other, left over right to start with. And the knees will come to the right side. And once they arrive, the gaze can come towards the left. The body finds its own shape and form. And we'll find our way over to the other side. Crossing knees over if you're crossing them the opposite way at the centre line. Finding our way back to the centre line and uncrossing the knees there. Take your arms down to the sides of the body, palms up, and we'll stretch out through the legs. And arriving into Shavasana, letting the earth hold you. You note any little pockets of tension holding the body. You can see if there's anything to soften. You can relax into that sensation, that feeling. Letting be whatever you do find ever rises up into your awareness. Take a deep in breath. Breathing out all the way down through the body. Starting to bring a bit of movement into the fingertips, into the toes, into the head. And if you stretch out one arm by the side of the ear, by the side of the head, bend your knees, then roll over onto that side of the body. And slowly find your way up into sitting. Coming into a comfortable seat, hands on the lap. Getting the space along the spine. few moments to honor to set a flow of goodwill towards yourself. Bringing to mind your practice intention. Bringing the mind to connect at source, to connect with your breath. Bringing balance, synergy between mind and body. Hands coming up to heart. And bowing forward, greeting each other, ourselves. And closing your practice. Thank you very much. So lovely, class. I look forward to seeing you next Monday at normal time of 10. All things going well. I think everything's sorted. This week, we were doing a lot of work to kind of energize the core, all that sense of bringing heat up through the body, into the heart, the chest. This week, really work with just trying to open out the shoulders, rolling them back, squeezing into your shoulder blades. So you just will feel that sense of expansiveness across the front of the body, allowing the energy to flow there a little more freely. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care now.